Here's why it makes long-term economic sense for the government to feed hungry children. The moral case is pretty clear. Letting kids go hungry while giving rich people half-price food for the whole of August at Café Rouge is horse shit, or Merc de Cheval for those who frequent Café Red. But putting morality to one side, as I assume is written on the number 10 doormat, here is why, purely from an economic perspective, it still makes sense to feed them. Children are the future workers and taxpayers in our economy. Studies have shown that hungry children do less well at school. Having millions of kids getting lower grades at school because they were starving during their classes is terrible for the future economy. It means we'll have a workforce with lower skills in lower paid jobs, contributing less in taxes. Here's how it works on an individual level. If the government fed all the hungry children, one of those kids might end up being the next Mark Zuckerberg. And because they weren't starving during an IT lesson in year 10, they go on to build a website that employs thousands of people and pays billions of pounds in taxes, unlike Facebook. That is a pretty good deal for the government just for buying someone a lasagna each lunch. Also, child poverty costs the NHS £12 billion a year in illnesses like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So if the cost of feeding hungry children is just a fraction of the potential future benefits, why don't they do it? Well, Ben Bradley, Tory MP, says the government don't want families to become dependent on the state to feed their kids. This is a man who earns £81,000 a year in MP salary, so he knows a thing or two about being dependent on the state to feed himself. But being dependent on the state to help you isn't a bad thing. It's how civilised society works. We do it for lots of services. Ben Bradley would never say someone was too dependent on the fire service to put out fires. Families should be able to put fires out themselves. No, if someone can't put out a fire, the state-funded fire service comes to put it out for you, because ultimately a giant fire would be bad for the economy. So it's not a massive stretch to say if someone can't afford to feed their children, then the state should help, because if they don't, it's bad for the economy. In the long term, we need to address the root causes of hunger. But in the meantime, just feed the kids. We've got the Euros next summer and we need Marcus Rashford to be focused.